Hi everyone, Namaste. My name is Gajanan. Welcome to the Learning Journey channel. Today I read the book The Descent of Soul. Yeah. It's the second time I read, and I felt it is one of the simplest book ever written on and answering most of our questions. Yeah. I'll try to summarize the book today. Let me bring my screen. Okay. So, as I said, the book name is Descent of Soul by Guruji Krishnananda. We can give a headline, a revelation from the Rishis. Guruji Krishnananda says in this book, at the beginning, it is to be read, contemplated, and understood by intuition, not by our intellect or by our mind. Yeah. It was written on August 25th, 2002. As for me, Guruji Krishnananda lived in between 1939 to 2012. He was a founder of Manasa Foundation. This book covers the topic of where do we come from, why are we here, and where do we go. There are three chapters in this book. Uh, Currently, these books, right? First chapter will cover about the universe. Where do we come from? Why are we here, or who are we? The soul, and where do we go? Return. Let's move on. Before we start, a note before we begin from the author. He says it was he received this knowledge from his guru Amara. Yeah. Who is Amara? We'll get to know in coming slides. Yeah. Amara was the guru of Sri Guruji Krishnananda. During one of the visit, right, Amara asks Krishnananda because he was making a note of whatever Amara was covering, right? So Amara suggests Krishnananda to print this book, right? And on the same day, Krishnananda sits to write, but he was not even able to write a single sentence. But after a few days of struggle, the first sentence came in a late night, and with the Rishi's grace, he completed this book. It's a small book with many answers. It has only 30 pages, right? Krishnananda himself says in the book, this booklet does not contain many pages, but it contains many answers, seeds of questions. He says in the book, it holds the doubts for which future generation will seek the light or the answers. How to read this book? Krishnananda himself says, truth is seen by the inner eyes, not with our intelligence or our knowledge. Read it, take in the words slowly, let each sentence settle before you move on. Contemplate, reflect deeply. The meaning grows the longer you sit with it or you understand the words. Intuition, truth lies beyond the intellect in higher realms, grasp it with the inner eyes. So all truths descend in flashes. The rishis capture the light, turn it to thoughts and words, and pass it to us. The source of this entire book, even Amara Maharshi said it to Krishnananda, and Krishnananda says to us that the source of this knowledge is from Sapta Rishis. Yeah, Sapta Rishis are seven sages in the higher planes. So he says, as the earth entered the dark age 5,000 years ago, we can call it as a Kali Yuga, much knowledge, with material or spiritual, was lost. Now, as we enter an age of higher awareness, it is being retrieved from the rishis. Again, Amara, he was a great rishi who brought this knowledge to the human plane. He lived between 1919 to 1982 in Bangalore. Yeah. Most of us don't know him because he lived a very simple life. Yeah. Okay, about Maharshi Amara, at his ninth age, he went through an anesthesia, he went through a surgery, uh, where at that moment he left his body and met the Saptarshis in his astral body. He had said it to Krishnananda Guruji. Uh, okay, and Sapta Rishis asked him to go back, and they assured him that they'll personally meet him later part of the years, right? As promise kept, months later, Rishis came down and taught him the whole spiritual science of for about 3 years between 1928 to 1931. At the age of 12, Amara became a fully realized spiritual master, Maharshi, by 1931. At the age of 12, he was Maharshi. Yeah. But he, most of, again, he was not popular because he chosen a very simple life. Okay, moving to the book, there are three chapters. The chapter one, right, will cover how creation unfolded, the worlds, the cosmos, and the feel of time. Okay, how the creation begins. We'll understand a little about the creation. From the known and the unknowable, everything emerged one from another in a cascade of light. Yep. From the unknowable, from the infinity, yeah, from the God's own unknown realms, ocean of light emerged, and that was a infinite light, which where we call it as a God. From it, the ocean of consciousness emerged, yeah, in a new dimension. From that consciousness, the energy, a vast field arose from the consciousness, and from that, the first form, a form that is Devi. We call her Shakti, Adi Shakti, the first personality. Yeah. Then from Devi, three emerged. Right? Overall, we say four divine personalities. First was Brahma, the creator. He creates a new world and souls and sends them out to grow the bodies. Vishnu, the sustainer, who takes care of all life within these worlds and preserve it. And Shiva, the destroyer or the dissolver, at- attends to destruction. For whatever is born must be uh, died one day. Anyone or anything that is born will have to die ultimately after a short or a long time. Next, Brahma's great work, that is Brahmanda. Why it was created is Devi desired more creation, so Brahma made Brahmanda, the material cosmos, and it the sound of Om at billions of points. It sounded, even NASA, somewhere I read that NASA found that the universe sound is Om. So at billions of points, he sounded Om, and their galaxies were born. Billions from that, billions of Earths, right? Each galaxy, billions of suns, planetary system, countless Earths filled with life, and eight guardian worlds. In eight direction, eight Deva lords guard the cosmos and holds it energies within. If you ask, right? If you ask who holds this entire universe, Krishnananda Guruji or Saptarshi says the eight lords. Yeah. The cosmic egg galaxy is born from the sound of Om. Okay. Then the stages of evolution, the 14 lokas, seven higher lokas and seven lower lokas. The higher lokas are spiritual activities highest at the top and fades downward. Lower is a material activity increase downward, greatest at the very bottom. So first higher loka is Satyaloka, followed by Tapoloka, Janaloka, Mahaloka, Suvaloka, Bhuvaloka, and the place where we stay, our Earth, right? Bhuloka. And Earth is the seventh loka. Here, spiritual and material good and evil have equal opportunities. Brahma introduced good in the higher lokas and evil in the lower, and souls to live in each lokas. Then the lower lokas are Athala, Vithala, Suthala, Rasathala, Talathala, Mahathala, and Pathala lokas. We are not talking about just other Earths, right? These are lokas. Next, we'll try to understand the dimension beyond imagination, the scale of creation. 18 billion light years, the dimension of egg shaped cosmos, he says 18 billion light years. Uh, the light to come from sun to earth, right? I think hardly it takes, I'm not sure, it takes 7 minutes, right? And you can just imagine what is 18 billion light years, right? The dimension. 9 billion light years, Earth sits at the every center. So he says our Earth is sitting at exact 19 billion light years, right? Uh, exact in middle. And each lokas, right? Especially uh, Brahma Loka. This he says there are four lokas: Brahma Loka, Vishnu Loka, Shiva Loka, and Shakti Loka. uh, Vishnu Loka is 1,000 times larger than Vishnu Loka. Shiva Loka is 1,000 times larger than Vishnu Loka. Shakti Loka is 1,000 times larger than Shiva Loka. Yeah. Fair time bends. So one day in a Devi Loka is equivalent to 2 days in a Shiva, and 4 days in Vishnu Loka, 8 days in Brahma Loka. Billions of Earth years. In the ocean of right, Parabrahma Loka, time stands still. Yeah. So here we are talking about Brahma Loka and Parabrahma Loka are different. We'll try to understand the cycle within cycle. Again, there are Mahayuga, Manvantara, and Pralaya. Okay, one Mahayuga is equivalent to 51,840 years, right? We talked earlier. Okay, yeah. So we'll discuss one Mahayuga is equivalent to 51,840 years. One Manvantara is 71 Mahayugas, right? Then after every Manvantara, a Pralaya happens. Total dissolution comes at each Manvantara's end. Last time, Earth lay covered by water by thousands of years. The Rishis always involved Lord Vishnu to descend and preside over the Pralaya, is what Krishnananda Guruji says. Okay, here the wheel of time, right? There are every Mahayuga, right, which consists of 51,840 years. That is again divided into four yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga every 20 years, Satya Yuga comes every 15,000 years, Treta Yuga comes every Dwapara Yuga 10,000, and every Kali Yuga ends at the end, 5,000 years, right? And transitions, 1,840 years. It is a transition time from Kali Yuga to again Satya Yuga. Yeah. So four yugas, right? And uh, it takes for four yugas 51,840 years. That is called Mahayuga. And such 17 Mahayugas, if happens, right, there is it's called one Manvantara. If you calculate, it comes around 22 crore 57 lakh 64,048 years. Once in 2.5 crores, one pralaya happens, right? So that's the calculation which I tried. Okay, so now we are in the seventh Manvantara, which is called Vaivatsava, and at the beginning of 29th Mahayuga, which began on 14th March 1974, as per Krishnananda Guruji and Amara Maharshi. Because even Sapta Rishis says to them, is what they say. We are now in the transitory period of 432 years from Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga. Yeah. I'm going a bit fast because if I go explaining in detail each points, the video becomes too long. Yeah. Okay, where we stand now, we are in Manvantara, seventh Manvantara, the Vaivatsava Manvantara that we live in today. 29th Mahayuga began on 14th March 1974, a fresh great cycle. For 32 years, it is transition now. We are underway from Kali Yuga back to Satya Yuga. A message of hope is we are entering an age of higher awareness. The knowledge once lost is now being retrieved from the rishis, and the journey home grows brighter. Which home will come in coming slides. Okay. There was a first chapter. We understood the universe. Second chapter, we are souls, right? Our home, we'll understand where is our home, our greater desire, and the long descent into body. Yeah. So our home is Parabrahma Loka. We are light. We were particle of light within the infinite ocean of light. That light is God. God loved us as His own and gave us wonderful experience to keep us happy. The wish to explore. So we longed. We were particle of light, and we longed to come here and experience the endless diversity of the creation created by Brahma. Free will honored. So God cautioned that we might get stuck here if we go, but He don't wanted to come against our free will. So He never stood in the way of our free will. So particles of light within the ocean of light. The great descent begins. So how we came, right? First small batches. Initially, a few came down, then returned to tell the others of the beauty of life here on Earth. Billions long to come. So we choose seven among us to carry our wish to God and seek His permission to go to Earth or these lokas. The seven Sapta Rishis. So God granted it. These seven received special powers and sacred duty to take us back again to Parabrahma Loka, to lead and to guide. So they would lead us, the Saptarshis will lead us down to the earth, care for us, and guide us back home. Yeah. The cosmic space suit are called koshas, right? At each realm, we don't donned a new shat to travel its atmosphere. Every space suit piled up limitations, right? So we have five koshas actually, but while coming to these lokas, we got four koshas. The first was Anandamaya kosha, a bliss body. We were in Anandamaya kosha, in Parabrahma Loka, vibrating bliss for the journey. Vijnanamaya kosha, that is intellect body, given by Devi, filled with the matter of intellect. Then Manomaya kosha, that's mind body from Brahma, holds the blueprint of the body, its gender and its grouping. Right, when I say gender, male and female, that's why most of sometimes we hear, right, marriages are made in heaven. So here in the we get that in the Manomaya kosha. Next, Pranamaya kosha, vital body, prana from the sun received at the time of our birth. And we also have one more kosha, that is Annamaya kosha. Yeah. Okay, next, gateways along the way, how we came. Seven seals are chakras. Passing through the material lokas, each lord imprinted a seal on our Manomaya kosha. In the body, these became our chakras, right? Energy centers and gateway back. So these seals help us not to lose our way on the journey back to home, which is our Brahma Loka. Yeah. Okay, so here at last we got a Muladhara Chakra at Bhuloka. Before Bhuloka, the second Loka, right next. Before receiving the Muladhara, we did receive Swadhisthana Chakra from Bhuvaloka. Before that, Manipura Chakra from Swaloka. Anahata Chakra, right, which is at heart from Mahaloka. Then Vishuddhi Chakra from Janaloka. Agna Chakra, that is it is at third eye from Tapoloka. And Sahasrara, right, which we call it as a crown chakra from Satyaloka. Next, the silver cord. What is the silver cord? We'll understand. Halted at 50,000 miles. So we could not descend, right, even with those all chakras, because we had no weight. We were particles, and eight Dikpalakas guarded the cosmos. So Indra, Lord of the East, sent us south to Yamadharma, who understood our need, and he gave this silver cord. So a gadget that carries weight, connecting astral body to physical body. I think nowadays even the astral, most of the people I have seen is we hear about they doing astral travel, right? If you don't know, you can search in YouTube. So this helps, right? Yamadharmaraya gave us silver cord and stretches to infinity. May astral travel to extend without limit, it must be returned unblemished. So while returning back, we must be returning this silver cord to Yamadharma uh, unblemished in a pure form. Next, arrival on Earth, how it happened. So, step one, as the atmosphere grew dense, our descent stopped one more time, and Indra raises storm, static charge, and semi-material silver cords. Riding the raindrops, we fell with the rain into the soil, then rose through roots, planets, flowers, and seeds, and at the end, right at last, in the body, entering human bodies, then ohms, the blueprint began building the body. So it is how the we arrived from Parabrahmaloka to this Bhuloka, right? Okay, with this body. So at birth, we received the prana maya kosha, prana from the sun. Until then, we could speak with God, but with the body's birth, we lost the direct contact. Okay. The next, life on earth, the last and the third chapter. Yeah. So he'll discuss about the karma, meditation, and the long journey back to timeless bliss. Yeah. So, what is karma, right? The layers on the soul. The body takes time. Senses carry experience to the brain, right? With five of our senses, but full experience began only after age of 12. Okay, the Manomaya Kosha filters experience and passes it on to us, to the souls. Whatever it cannot pass, it is left behind, forming layers of karma on the mind. I think the karma topic itself is a very big topic, but I think you will be able to understand what is good karma, what is bad karma, right? So while returning, we should not have any karmas. The Rishis ways, the Sapta Rishis also took birth, but stayed turned to the divine, gathering lit. The cleansing of karma, the way back, that is meditation. The Saptarshi says they devised a meditation to wipe the layers of karma clean and taught it to all who are burdened with karma. Okay, so after death, all of us go to Yamaloka. The koshas are checked there in a special mirror, right? And return to cleanse. So those carrying karma are advised to return to earth and clean it again. Right? If it is clean, many practice erase their karma and journey onward free. The warning is changing more experience thickness the layers. Right? If the same birth and death continues after 5 births, contract with the rishis is also lost. Yeah. Returning every gift, the journey home, the or mukti or liberation. On the way back, each space suit that we had gained while coming to Bhuloka has to be returned where it was received until the soul is free one more time. Okay, so at Amaloka, we return that silver cord. The numbers on the koshas are erased. Second, at higher lokas, the seven seals, the chakras are erased and returned. Brahmaloka, the Manomaya Kosha, the mind body is returned. At Devi Loka, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the intellect body is returned. And finally, at Parabrahmaloka, the Anandamaya Kosha is returned. The soul attains liberation and the mukti. Yeah. The Pranamaya Kosha returns to the sun at the time of death, entering the ocean of light. We regain our freedom. So the rishis, how rishis work, right? This Krishnananda Guru says there are 1,44,000 agents at any given time, right? Who are chosen as volunteers to help rishis and they in their work. Yeah. They'll help the souls who have lost the contact with the rishis, and their headquarters is in Himalaya. He says it will shift one day to Taponagara after a great earthly change. The Maharshi monitors the work, replaced every 60-year cycle. The third is serving now. Yeah. I got to know that even the Sapta Rishis, right, keep getting changed. Knowledge as light, created by Vishnu, received by Brahma, caught by rishis in a flesh given to mankind. And their work goes on silently in every yuga until the last soul leaves Bhuloka and return to Brahma Loka. So may we merge back into the ocean of light, right? May this knowledge awaken us to the realities of birth, death, and our spiritual goal. May the struggle to re-establish our lost contact with the rishis begin. May the journey back to the timeless bliss begin. In spite of all the entrapments, life here is beautiful and divine. This is what Krishnananda Guru says. In spite of all the struggles, difficulties, entrapments, right? Life here in the Bhuloka is beautiful and divine. We have to live the divinity and go back to our home, Parabrahma Loka, sooner or later. As again, Guruji Krishnananda had written this on 25th August 2002. I personally request you to read it, contemplate it, and understand it by intuition, as said by Guruji Krishnananda. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.